Living within your means is when your expenses are not exceeding your income. And that sounds super easy, right? Well, this concept actually does not sound so easy when you feel like you're not making enough money to begin with. I think that we would all love to get to a point where we are not constantly checking our accounts out of fear, thinking that something is about to become overdrawn. And I personally have not felt that way for the past 3 years because I have been using what is called the cash method. It has gotten me completely out of debt, and I have been able to actually save money for the first time in my life, and more importantly, keep it saved. Now, don't worry, if you don't have access to a bank, can't have cash in your home, or just don't like the idea of using cash, that's okay. You can still use the method that I'm about to show you. In today's video, I'm going to be setting up all of my savings categories for 2025. And as we go through them, hopefully you'll be able to see that this way of saving money does not have to be complicated, and you'll be able to pick out some ideas that you think might work for you. So I have already completed our weekly budget, and I have given every dollar of our paycheck a place to go. This eliminates that feeling of where did it all go? I know exactly where every bit of it is going. Having this written budget is my step one of living within my means. If you do not have your budget, or maybe you don't know how to do a budget, I do have some videos linked below for you that are very detailed on getting yours set up. And whether you're paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, there is a video down there for you, so check out the description. Now, with my personal budget, our pay does fluctuate as I get paid monthly for some things like YouTube, and I get paid bi-weekly from others like Etsy, and it is never the same, not even close. But that just makes this so much more fun, right? But hey, seriously, we have an income, so I am not complaining. And no matter what my pay is, whether it's a little short or a little over, I know that the first thing I need to do is to pay for my four walls. That includes my mortgage, utilities, food, and transportation. And those are called fixed expenses, which are any expense that you have regularly, and it's exactly or nearly exactly the same amount each time. These are predictable bills, basically. And then I move on to paying things like tithing, my phone bill, my insurance. Still fixed expenses, and also very important, not four walls important, but important. And then this is where we start getting into deeper waters. This is where discretionary spending comes into play. And for me, and maybe you too, this is where I was running into my problem. And it wasn't that I was just some big crazy spender. It was actually that I was not planning anything ahead of time. I was not in control. I was allowing circumstances to be in control. If some friends wanted us to go to a concert with them, we would just go and not even think about later on. Then when a tire got a nail in it and the tire shop guy said, you know, you could actually use a whole new set of four and that will cost you about $1,500. I just loved to act surprised. It was a fun little game that I played. Now, even though we all live very different lives and we all have our own specific bills, expenses, needs, and wants, the method that I'm using to keep my discretionary spending under control will work for everyone. So let's recap. Living within your means is living on less than you make. Sounds easy enough, but we know it is not. And in order to make that happen, we need a budget to follow, planning our money, and prioritizing where it will go. So, how do we do that? Let's go see. Okay, so these are all of my discretionary spending categories. These are not my bills. Well, actually, one is a bill. We'll get to that. These things are all important to me and my household, which is why I am deciding to put money towards them when I can. But even these have a pecking order. Groceries will get my attention before date night, right? And as time goes on, sometimes the pecking order isn't quite that obvious. It could be that one has enough built up in it to where I feel okay with it, and then another less important category might need some money. Each pay period, I'm just making my best judgment. Now, next to each category, I have the amounts that I'm going to be adding to each one. Then here are the denominations that I need from the bank. So after my bills have been paid and my savings is already taken care of, I am left with $672. And this is what I have for everything else. So let's look at what my everything else is. And I actually waited to set all of these up so I could show you this part too. I know that when you've never done it before, it's really good to see what others are doing. Now I have, and I will be using 3 binders total. And let's start with my high priority spending. So we're going to do all of the categories for this binder together. And this is the cash that I got from the bank this morning. And this is the $672 that I showed you earlier, right here, 672. Remember, this is after I've done my budget with my 4 walls, my other fixed expenses, and my savings as far as like my 15% for my retirement has already been taken care of. This is, again, where I feel like I get into trouble, and I think a lot of us do, the discretionary spending, what's left after that. So we've got the 672 here, and I'm going to go through every category with you guys and setting up these binders, and we're going to go ahead and give them what they are owed. And there's more than that. There's a little more than that to this video, so definitely hang out with me. I think you guys are going to like this. So let's put this in the front. And let's look back at my cash planning sheet. That is this one, my high priority spending. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories. All of the cash equaled together is $320. And they are groceries, Uhtred, and this is my baby, English Bulldog. If you're new to the channel, this is him over here. He is the most precious little baby on the planet. He's definitely got his own spending category. We've got the household, 2 Sister B's expenses, health, and this is a tracker that I'm going to be using each month. I will have a different one, and this is going to be going towards my extra principal payments on my mortgage. So let's get these set up and put in the binder. And again, if you are new and you've never done this before, these envelopes, the zipper part, this plastic, you're going to want to kind of zigzag them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flip that one around. 6. Because when you put them in the binder, the more you add, the harder it gets to close this. So keep that in mind when you are making your binders. You're going to want these zippers to basically zigzag each other. That was something I learned the hard way. So I figured I'd save you the aggravation on that. Okay, we've got all of the categories ready to go, and we're ready to add our cash. Now for groceries, my monthly budget is $600 a month, $150 a week. So we're going to go ahead and do 50, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1. So there is my 150 for groceries. And there are just 2 of us here, in case you're wondering. It is myself and my husband. But I will say Uhtred's food also comes out of that as well. We make his food for him, I think like twice a week. So he's a big part of that. And to Uhtred, we are going to be giving 50. And this is for his different medications, his vet visits, his Benadryl, his treats, things like that. So Uhtred definitely needs his own savings envelope. And then for household, this is going to be the typical, the toiletries, the paper towels, the toilet paper, the razors, shampoo, conditioner, dish detergent, anything that we buy for the household. And honestly, ourselves, as I said, the toiletries are also included in this. And I'm going to add $30 today to that one. And then 2 Sister B's expenses. This is anything for the channel or for my Etsy shop, mostly the Etsy shop. So it's going to be things like paper, laminating sheets, random stuff I need from Amazon to keep that little side hustle going. I'm going to give that $30. And health. This is things like protein powder, greens, detox tea, matcha, all that stuff. That is getting 20. So let's put that in there. And that one is complete. And then this one, I already sent in January's payment. That was due January 1st. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the February tracker. And I'm going to go ahead and put $40 in here. So we will mark off 10, 20. Let's get the marker out. So we've got 10, 20, 29, 30, 38, 39, 40. So let's add the $40. You want to give this a little time to dry, because if you don't, you will end up with, and I think this one has I don't know if you can see that, but you'll end up with like some little black marks on your envelopes, which isn't that big of a deal, but I don't like it. So I try to let them dry as much as I can. Okay, and let's take a look at this one more time. My groceries are ready to go for the week. Uhtred is starting to build back up his envelope. I've got a little bit of cash ready to go for some household stuff, 2 Sister Bees, health, and then a little extra going to the mortgage. This is a great feeling, you guys. I have to tell you that. I love doing this. I feel so much better knowing that things that I consider high priority spending are taken care of, and I don't have to worry about it. So this one is completed. And now we're going to move on to my second binder, which is my sinking funds binder. So here is the dashboard for this one. And I went ahead and decided to use a little bit of a fancier one for my sinking funds, because this binder doesn't really get used, I guess, as much as the other two. So I figured might as well make it a very nice one. And if you are not familiar, I wasn't when I first started, sinking funds are expenses that you know are coming. And what you're going to do is you're going to save small amounts over time so that when it is time to pay them, you will be ready. And this, again, unbelievable feeling, you guys. This eliminates the need for credit cards, loans, or just cutting yourself short in general. So let's go ahead and get this one put together. I have 6 categories for my sinking funds, and they are car insurance, out of pocket for medical, car maintenance, house maintenance, and this is going to be for my pool. I do not have a tracker that says pool, so I'm going to use my fill in the blank tracker and just put pool here at the top. And then the last one is a carryover from last year, and that is my home goods. So let's get these set up, and I will explain each one a little bit as we go. Okay, the first one is car insurance, and this is the one bill that I have on my list. I pay this semi-annually twice a year. It's due in March, and I already have March's payment in my savings account ready to go. So I'm saving now for the payment that is going to be due in September. It is $576. I round up to $600. And as I said, I want to have it completely saved in the 6 months. So $600, that's $100 a month, $25 per week. So let's go ahead and mark off the 25. And that one is ready to go. So if you have something that you would like to make a sinking fund, maybe you've got HOA fees, property taxes, income taxes, vacation, Christmas, wedding, so many things that we could save this way and keep us from a lot of headache later on. Okay, and I feel like here is a good place to pause and talk to those who like this method, but don't necessarily like the idea of using cash. You can still use a tracker like these and just use it to mark off as you save your amounts each pay period. Having a tangible item like this can keep your motivation And more importantly, your discipline. You're just going to mark what you're saving. And for this one, my out of pocket, I am going to be putting away $42 every payday. And I'm sure you're wondering where I came up with $42. So what I did was I took my out of pocket for next year. 2025 is already saved and in an account. I'm actually doing 2026 out of pocket, and that is $2,000. So I'm going to take the 2,000, we're going to divide it by 12. I have an entire year to save for this. And then we're going to divide it by 4 because I'm putting money in weekly. And that gives me $41.66, rounded up to 42. So just go ahead and mark what you're saving. 20, 40, 1, and 2. And instead of having the actual cash, what you would do is just move that $42 from your checking to your savings account. Now, doing it this way can be a little bit harder for some to not just move that money back to the checking if you happen to overspend, which was my problem. So the cash is what changed that for me. But if having cash is just not an option for you, I would absolutely try this digital way instead, because I feel like you're still getting the feel of saving your money. You're still really a huge part of it, as opposed to just getting in an app and moving money. You still have it designated. You know that the $42 you just moved is specifically for this, and that makes it a lot harder to move it back and forth when you overspend. And I'm also going to be showing you guys some other digital ways to save later on in the video. So let's go ahead and finish this up. Car maintenance is next, and I have allotted $30. So we'll do 20 and a 10. And let's add this. Okay, and my next very important category is house maintenance. And I'm going to be adding $50 to this today. I think I'm going to make each one of these icons worth 25. So we'll mark off 2 of them today, and we'll add that 50. And this one, as I said, is going to be designated my pool. And I wanted to add 15 today. I think I'm going to make these icons worth $5 each. And we'll go ahead and add the 15 to that. 10 and 15. And I wanted to do this one because, I mean, who knows, right? We actually just replaced the creepy crawly thing and the hose. We just did that. But I mean, the pool is just one of those things you never know what it's going to need. And this next one is this one, the home goods that I showed you earlier. This one is carrying over from 2024. And as you can see, I have some cash in here, but I also have a receipt. So my sister was here visiting, and as all sisters do, we went to Home Goods while she was here, and I spent $86.58, so basically $87, and I never did take it back. So let's see, 87. So 87 from 100 is $13. Let me go grab some change. Okay, I've got the $13. I took that out of my purse. I'm going to take this back. This needs to go back into my checking account. And I am left with $28. And I was going to add another 20 today. So I'm going to clean this off. And how you clean these is I use a very good, what I would consider strong nail polish remover. Hopefully I don't mess up my nails, but we're going to go ahead and clean this off. Okay, it's all cleaned off. I'm going to make each one of the icons, I'm just going to make them worth $10. And let's see how much I have. I have 48. I think I'm just going to mark off 4 of these. It's okay that I have an extra $8 in there. And the home good ones is actually a little important to me because we did just move into this house less than a year ago. And there's some things that I would like to buy, not a whole lot, but every once in a while I do like to buy something for the house. So again, let's go back and check out the sinking funds. We've got the car insurance, my medical out of pocket, car maintenance, anything that the house might need, anything that the pool might need, and last but not least, the home goods. Okay, and then for my last binder, we are going to be putting together a savings challenge binder, and there are so many different savings challenges. You can definitely find the ones that you like and are going to spark something in you to make you want to get them out and complete them. They are perfect for those little micro wins that we know are so important when we're trying to save our money. And believe me, when you finish one and you have that savings, it is going to entice you to want to do it again and again and again. So let's see what mine are and how I'm going to be doing them and what I'm using them for. And I'm going to put this to the side. We'll put it all together after I have shown you all of my savings challenges. And we're going to start off really easy with just a simple tracker like the ones we just saw. This one is for Sam's Club, and I'm going to make each one of these worth 10, and I'm going to be adding 30 today. So we have 1, 2, and 3 of those to mark off. Okay, so we've got 20 and 30. And I really want to get this one built up so that when I do go to Sam's Club, I'm not freaking out. I feel like every time I go there, it's at least $200 or $300. So I would love to have some extra cash for Sam's Club. And the next one is for date night. I had this one last year, and if you have been following along, you know that as soon as I completed it, what did we do? We didn't even go anywhere. We had dinner at home. We are such homebodies. But I did tell Jason we need to start having a real date night where we leave the house. That would be so nice. So we're going to start this again. It will remain to be seen what we do with it. I think I'm going to make each of these worth $10 as well. So we're going to color in 2 of the hearts, and having a date night is always important. So I've got that one going. I feel good about that. Now the next savings challenge is a little different than the 2 I just showed you. And this one is one of my favorites. It's called See It, Like It, Want It, Save It. And for this one, let's just go ahead and read the instructions. Step 1 is to unfollow all social media influencers you follow for the sole purpose of items that they show. And step 2 is to unsubscribe from all stores and companies that alert you to sales or items being restocked. And step number 3 is to save that money instead. So what you're going to do is anytime that you see something, you like it, you want it, you're not going to buy it. You're going to save it instead. And you're going to write down here, what is the item? How much is it? Here is where you will choose whether to save 25 or 50% of the cost of that item, and you'll put that amount there. There's a little bit of extra bonus down here at the bottom. It says save $1 every time you say no to takeout, coffees, drinks, shopping trips, basically anything that you are able to just say no. You would just mark a little dollar down here at the bottom. So for me, this past week, my item that I did not buy, my impulse item, was a little rice cooker that I saw on Amazon. So let's go ahead and write rice cooker. And that might seem silly to some of you, right? Like rice cooker. If you need a rice cooker, just buy it. Well, I don't need it. That's the whole point. I have a little pot with a lid. I've been using it for years. It works perfectly fine. I don't know why these things catch our attention and usually we buy them, right? But I'm on a mission. I don't want to buy anything that I do not absolutely need. So that rice cooker is right here. It was $30. I'm going to save, let's see, we'll write down, it was 30. I've decided to save 50% of that cost, which is $15. And you will do that 10 times. And then here it says, instead of buying these 10 items I saved, you'll put your total here, what you saved, and what are you going to put this towards? So what I've decided I'm going to put this money towards is, I don't think you can see it, but it's windows. We need new windows in the house. So is that going to happen with just this saving challenge? No, definitely not, but it's a start. And I don't need the windows like right this minute. It's not some pressing issue. It's just something that we would like to have fairly soon. So I'm going to go ahead and start saving up as much as I can in the meantime by saying no to things I don't need. Okay, so we've got the $15 in this one, and the next one is a little trio of coin games. I have not even played these yet. I made these, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago, and I haven't even done one. So I'm pretty excited to do these, and I think I'm gonna start with this one. This one's called You Betcha. And how you do this is you choose heads or tails. I'm going to bet that I'm going to flip a tails, and I'm going to bet $5 that I get it. If I don't, I'm still going to save 2. So let's see how I do. Okay, so before I do this, I want to show you guys here. If you notice on my cash planning sheet, I have a circle here and a circle here. That is because these two things are random games. I don't have any idea what I'm going to end up saving for that, right? So if you remember, we started with $672. That's how much I had after my budgeting and my other savings was taken care of. All of these equal $639, which leaves me with $33 to play the random games with. So I hope that helps in case you're wondering how the random games work in your cash planning. So let's go ahead and see what I end up with. I'm looking for a tails to save $5. And I did get tails. Okay, so I'm going to save 5. And let's do this one more time. This time I'm going to say I'm going to get heads, and I will try another 5. Nope, I got tails. So I'm actually going to save 2 that time since I did not get a match. So total is going to be 7 for You Betcha. And I don't think I told you guys where this money is going to go. So for these games, these coin games, I am going to be saving up for a new patio door. The door it's just one of them. It has like this fogginess to it. I don't know why. I'm not really sure exactly what's wrong with it, but I know it's going to cost money to fix it. So I'm just going to save up what I can in the meantime. Again, this is not a emergency situation. I don't need it to happen right now. So I have time, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to use the time to save up. No big deal, but I'm still making it fun and something I want to do. That's the point. Next up is my words of affirmation. And this is another one of my favorite savings challenges. And that is because of what it's for, basically. Up here, you can see the directions say choose a positive adjective that best describes you. And I use this personally for self-love items that I want for me. And if you are new to the channel and you stick around, you will start to see that I do not spend a whole lot of money on myself. So I use this as a way to make myself occasionally get something that I really like. And in the meantime, I am giving myself positive words of affirmation. And I think we could all use that. So, my positive word is an easy one. Awesome. And here's how you save. It's $1 per letter. Vowels are worth 2. So we will be saving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So here is the envelope, and we're going to put that $11 in there. So while you're doing all of this saving and paying off debt and making sure that your household is taken care of, don't forget to take care of yourself as well. Okay, and the next savings challenge I want to do is I've decided that as the year goes on, I'm going to do a different game each week. This week I've chosen Under the Moonlight because it is my newest game. That way I can show anybody who's new how to play each of the savings challenges, and that'll make it easier for them to decide which one they like and which one they want to save with. And how you play is you save based on your low temperature of the day. And there's a lot of different ways you could do this. The example I used is 52 degrees. You could either save $52. You could add the two numbers together, 5 plus 2, and save 7. You could subtract one of the numbers from the other, 5 minus 2, and save 3. Or you could multiply them, 5 times 2 for 10. So my low temperature for today is 56 degrees. Now, if you're watching this and you are part of that winter storm, all of our kids are also in that winter storm. And my youngest daughter, she is a Florida native, which means she was born in Florida, and she has never seen snow until last night, and she was very excited. She is currently living in North Carolina, and she was so excited last night when she went outside and got to see snow for the first time. I'm in South Florida, so that's why my low temperature is a lot higher than probably most of you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 5 plus the 6 and save 11. So I will put the $11 in here for now. I need to make, this is something that I forgot to do until now, but I need to make a dashboard that just says for fun. And next week I will have a completely different game to show you how to play. And then this money is literally going to be for fun. Whatever Jason and I decide we want to do, that's what this money will go for. And next up is my no spend or no buy calendar for the entire year. Yes, I do a no spend, no buy challenge all year. And as you can see, I have not marked off anything for January yet. And today is Wednesday, the 22nd. So what I do is, and I've had a few of you ask me, green means that I did not spend that day. Red means that I did. And if it's marked green, it doesn't necessarily mean that I didn't spend any money that day. It just means that I didn't spend money on anything not budgeted for previously. So anything that's red is an impulse buy. That's how I do it. That is my rules for my no buy. If you would like to do one or you're thinking of doing one, I have a video here that you can check out. So let me see, what have I spent? So far this month, I have had 2 spend days. I did on the 12th and on the 14th. And you're probably wondering, what did you buy? I bought a new pair of my favorite lounge pants. I have had these pants for, I don't even know how many years. I'm going to guess 5 or 6 years I've had these pants. And as you can see, there was a hole in the pants. So they don't sell them anymore, but I did find a pair on eBay. I was so excited. So you know I bought those. And the 14th, what we bought was a new doggy stroller for Uhtred. And no, it was not budgeted for, but we ended up buying it because we've started taking walks every day. And when we go for these walks, we feel so guilty leaving Uhtred home by himself. So, because he's an English bulldog, he cannot walk as far as we're walking. So the stroller eliminates that problem, and little buddy gets to go with us, and he absolutely loves it, and we love it too. So it was worth every penny, and it was worth that red dot, and it was worth that spend day. So since we're on the 22nd, I've had 2 spend days. That means that I had 20 no spend days. I actually make those worth $1 a piece, and I save that money. So that'll be $20 saved for my no spend so far in January, and I'm very happy about that. Okay, so my no spend money, everything that I end up saving in this envelope, and anything that I save up from my scratch offs, I'm going to consider my buffer money. So they will not have any specific place designated. It's just there in case I need it for anything besides these categories. So I've got to put $30 aside, and you'll see why in just a minute. That is coming next. That leaves us with $10, $20, $26 for scratch offs and to put into my buffer. And I'm going to go ahead and do this one. I have not shown this yet on the channel. This is, I think this is my newest scratch off. It's called That Bow, though. It has everybody's favorite Hello Kitty. I don't care who you are. I am 50 years old. So is Hello Kitty. And she is, I think, everyone's absolute favorite. And how you play this scratch off is if you reveal a bow, you're going to roll the included Hello Kitty die. So cute. And save whatever amount you roll. Now, if you end up rolling and you land on Hello Kitty, you choose the amount that you save. So let's see what I get. Grab my quarter, zoom in so you can see better, and let's do this one. Okay, that one is $1, $2, $3, $4. Let's go again. Okay, so we landed on the bow that time, so we're going to roll and see what we're going to save. Okay, so we're going to add another 2. And let's try this scratch off. It is called Spill the Beans. We have $20 left. Let's see what we end up with. Okay, that one is the Americano. That's worth 10. And let's go here. We got another Americano, and that is the last $10 that I had for savings challenges. So we're going to put this into the scratch off envelope, and let's go ahead and put the savings challenge binder together. I'm going to leave this one out so I don't forget to make that for fun envelope. Okay, so this is my savings challenge binder. Let's take a look at it one more time so we can see what the goals are for each one of these, because that is important. You want each one to have a specific goal. This one is for my self-care, things that I normally wouldn't buy, but using this makes me realize that I need to spend a little on myself too. The coin games are going to be going for the patio door. The See It, Like It, Want It, Save It challenge is going to be going towards windows. Dinner date is obviously for exactly that, date night. Sam's Club, I just wanted to kind of get a little bit of a chunk of money for Sam's Club because I always feel like I spend way too much in there. And the last 2, the scratch offs and the no spend savings, are going to be buffers for whatever comes my way. So we have the high priority spending ready to go. We've got my sinking funds And we've got some savings challenges for 2025. What is that other $30? Okay, as I said, we bought our house in February of 2024. Taxes were not homesteaded the first year. I knew that there was going to be a difference there as far as what was in escrow and what we owed. It ended up being, I paid it today, $3,032. I did not want that rolled into my mortgage. I didn't want to have a higher mortgage payment. So I paid it. I used our 6-month fully funded emergency fund to do that. So now we've got to rebuild our $3,000, and it needs to just be done this year. 2025, it's not a huge issue. It's not scaring me that it's gone, but I don't like it. So obviously I just need to build that back up, and I've decided to use this savings challenge to do it. The way that I'm using the 100 envelope savings challenge is as a $1,000 challenge. For each pocket, there's 100 of them. They're worth $10 each. I will have $1,000. So obviously I'm going to need to do this 3 times. So we've got our 3 10s. Let's mark off 1, 2, 3. And we're going to put these $10 bills in here. Now, if you wanted to do this one digitally, this is actually a really good one, in my opinion, to use in a digital way. And I'm going to show you why I think that. Instead of using cash like I just did, you could use these little fully funded cards. They fit perfectly in each pocket, which I totally love. So obviously, as you mark these off with whatever you can for that pay period, you would just move that money from your checking to your savings and put your fully funded cards in there as that tangible visual thing that's going to keep you motivated. Now, these are a PDF download. You can just print these and cut them out as you go. And in fact, if you are watching this video between the air date and the end of the month, which is January 31st, 2025, these are free for you over on Ko-fi. Just click the link below and grab yours while it's available as a freebie for you guys. If you are watching after that date and you would still like to have them, they are in the Etsy shop, also linked below. In fact, everything that you saw me use today is available in the Etsy shop. So definitely check that out. Okay, you guys, so that is my total setup for 2025 for now. Anyway, as the year goes on and life happens, these will be adjusted. So don't think that whatever you start with is going to be anywhere near what you stick with. And I want you to remember, it's not always just about making more money, because without that plan for your money, you can make 6 figures and it will not matter, because it comes down to our behaviors. And after you do your budget and you have your true necessities written down like this in front of you, you could see that, like, hey, I need to cut expenses and I need to start limiting my spending. You may even realize that you need to boost your income temporarily until you can pay down some of your debt. And once your debt is paid off, you will be giving yourself these little instant pay raises each time one is paid. And then you can watch your savings really start to grow. You will be more prepared for things like car maintenance, because the money you were sending to Chase is now in your savings where it belongs. Now, I know you guys have questions. I want you to leave them in the comments for me. I will be doing a live this weekend where I will answer some of the questions from this video, and of course, ones that you will be presenting to me during that live. Thank you for watching, and if you haven't already, hit subscribe, be part of the hive. Make sure you hit that bell too so that you know when that live is happening. I am a certified financial coach. As I said, I am debt-free. I live a pretty frugal lifestyle, and I'm confident I can help you get to that same financial freedom. YouTube thinks that you will like this video right here, and it's probably right. That algorithm is magic. So click here and check that out.